is up, everyone? Welcome and welcome back to my channel. It's Mini, and it's a brand new episode of Mini Rambles. Today's topic is how to stop procrastinating. And as per usual, you can watch this episode on YouTube or listen to the podcast version on Spotify. And without further ado, let's just get right into it. I am guilty of procrastinating a lot of times. Even when I was still in high school, I used to put things off until the very last minute. I did well regardless because I guess the pressure of doing things last minute existed, but I know it's not ideal. I still procrastinate a lot recently, and even when I was writing the script for this video, editing it, uploading it, I did it just a few hours before the time to upload it. As many of us procrastinators might feel, I hate myself for procrastinating so much, and yet I keep spiraling into the same situation. Every time I have something to do, I ended up dragging it to do it until the very last minute. So in order to try and stop procrastinating, I dug deeper and searched for the reason why we all do this. Many of us might recognize procrastination as the act of putting off things that we need to get done, no matter the level of difficulty behind the task. According to a 2014 study on procrastination and coping, 20 to 25% of adults worldwide are chronic procrastinators. There are a lot of reasons that could be the cause of it, such as depression, anxiety, low self-esteem, ADHD, or even poor study habits. If procrastination goes on in the long term, it might affect our mental health, such as having high levels of anxiety, and even as far as to affect our physical health. According to an article in mcleanhospital.org, there are 5 main reasons why we procrastinate, which are feeling bored, lack of belief in our abilities, fear and anxiety, focusing too much on perfection, and distractions in our environment. So to put it simply, you procrastinate because one of those reasons, right? And then you'll feel stressed because you procrastinate and not able to get the task done. It is hard to escape this spiral once you're in it, but it's not impossible to stop yourself from procrastinating. First things first, you have to recognize that procrastination is not laziness. It's different from laziness. You are willing to do the task, but you don't know how to start, so don't be too hard on yourself. If you keep stressing yourself before even doing the task or starting the task, you'll end up dragging it even for a longer time. Next, what I usually do is to make a to-do list. This is the oldest trick in the book, but I find it very helpful. Write it down on a piece of paper or on your phone, basically wherever you want. I feel that by sorting out a to-do list, I can see what I need to do and I can sort my priority better that way. It is good to divide your task, this big task, into smaller tasks so you wouldn't feel too overwhelmed before even starting. And then the most important step of all is just to start. Yes, just start it. I know it sounds easier than done, but there is no other way to beat procrastination than just to start it. Stop overthinking about this task. And when I say this, I'm also talking for myself because I'm the biggest overthinker I know. And just start. If you're anything like me and having a hard time to start a task, I have a few methods that I use all the time to help kickstart my tasks. Number 1, 5 seconds rule. I saw this method on the internet the other day, but I honestly forgot who said it. But basically, you just count down from 5 to 1 and just start doing your task. Most of the time when we struggle to start a task, it's because we think too much before even starting. By counting down, I find it easier to stop thinking beforehand and just start doing it. Number 2, the Pomodoro method. Some of you might have heard this popular productivity method. So essentially, you start doing a task for 25 minutes, rest for 5 minutes, and then do the task again for 25 minutes, and so on. I find it helpful to start doing a task that I don't feel really comfortable or confident doing, or maybe something I hate. Because with this method, I only have to force myself to do the task for 25 minutes and get a 5-minute breaks. However, from my experience, usually after 25 minutes, I would be in a workflow state, so it's easier not to stop doing the task until the work is done. But when I can't focus, I still can always take that 5-minute break, so either way, I'll get the task done with less stress. And number 3, the last one is 1 hour rule. I don't know if this is a real rule or something, but I got it from a friend of mine. To give you a little background story, I once was doing a project that I hate so much. Like, I hate it so much, it was so hard for me to start doing it. So I asked him, what do you do if you have to do something that you hate so much? And he said, force yourself to do the task just for 1 hour. If you think you can continue after that 1 hour is up, then you keep going. But if you can't, then just get back at it some other time or even tomorrow with the same 1 hour rule, 1 hour method, right? I found this method was quite effective for me, especially when I have tons of tasks to do. However, please take note that I found this method is only works for a task that is not urgent or has a long deadline. The effect of doing this method is pretty much the same with the Pomodoro method, which forces us to focus on the task for a certain amount of time. So in the end, even if you're not done with the task, you'll still be able to get some of it done. To be honest, there are a lot of methods that you can use to beat procrastination. I'm just sharing what works best for me, and if you can find other method that works better for you, then please go ahead and use it. Procrastination is pretty hard to beat, especially when it has become a habit of yours. But it is not entirely impossible to beat. Be kind to yourself if you still procrastinate on some days, as long as you try hard to beat it on most days. After all, it is not perfection that we strive for. It's to get the task done with less to no stress. That way, you wouldn't feel the need to procrastinate the next time. That's all for today's topic, guys. I hope you guys enjoyed this video, and I wish we can all learn something from the topic that we talk about today. Thank you so much for watching or listening, and I'll see you guys on my next ones. Bye!